Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. I am here with a word this morning. I do have another word after this. So this word, a lot of you are on your spiritual journey, and you're expecting something from God. You've been standing the course. It hasn't been an easy journey, like I always say. But at this time, I notice more than ever, the enemy is starting to come in and he's really, trying to hold his ground in different areas. You see, the enemy likes to come in right before you get ready to touch that breakthrough or get that miracle that God has for you, or get that promise that God has been warning you about, or showed you prophecy about. You see, on this journey, you may be isolated from people, and the enemy has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. So some of the things that you used to deal with in the past, and before you started walking with Christ and started to turn your life over, the enemy will try to represent some of those things. The enemy will try to send some people in that God has already told you, hey, you don't need to be around this person. You need to steer clear from this person. This person is a narcissist. This person is this. This person is that. Certain spirits you're not to be around at this time, because God is getting ready to do something big in your life, and he don't want you to miss it. Okay, many of you have been waiting, and God is telling you right now is the time. Some of you are getting ready to have physical touch it in the physical aspect. Okay, so the enemy has been trying to come in. Let me give you some examples. The enemy will try to come in with counterfeits. The enemy will try to come in and mess with your mood. The enemy will try to come in and mess with your mind to make you think that God is not going to do it. It's taking too long. He's causing, also, I noticed that causing people to eat a lot. He's causing you to want to eat a lot, engage in a lot of food. And earlier in this journey, I put out a word how that can weigh heavy on your spirit. The food weighs heavy on your spirit to where it's like a disconnect from God. So that's why in these next 3 days, if God puts this on your timeline, some of you are very, very close to the breakthrough, and you need to do a 3-day fast. A water fast. 3 days, no food. You can drink water. Do a 3-day fast, because right now your flesh is speaking very loud. The enemy is trying to cause a lot of weigh you down with food, to try to mess with your cause you to sin, or cause you to backslide, or doubt God. And see, right now we need to get into a fast. And God is also, I just hear this strongly too, God is also wanting some of you to go into a 3-day fast, and not only the 3-day fast, but he wants you to cut out phone. He wants you to spend some time away from the phone and the internet, and watch what you put in your eye gates, and watch what you take in at this time. I'm telling you, God is moving at this hour right now, guys, and I feel it strongly. I feel it. We have been in the waiting room. A lot of us have been in the waiting room. The enemy has really been trying to get us out of character, cause confusion, to try to get our minds off track. But God had to reel me back in. He had to reel me back in, and I had to get that fire again, because I felt like I had lost the fire. And the reason you feel like that is because the enemy's trying to come in and cause tension, cause you to separate from the Lord. And sometimes when we engage in too much worldly things, the internet, or watching what others, or watching this or watching that, sometimes we can lose sight, and sometimes we don't spend as much time that we need to be getting back in the word, like we once was on fire for God. He wants us to get back on fire. We need to get back on fire for God. So right now, God is calling some of you to go into a fast, because your flesh, that flesh is it's not clean. That flesh is not clean. And see, we need to die to our flesh. We need to continue to die to our flesh. When it gets too loud, and it's loud, you need to go ahead and get surrender back to God. You need to be back at his feet, because when that happens, when your flesh, and you start engaging in too much worldly things, your flesh gets to speaking very, very loud, to where you feel like you can overpower God, or feel like you can control the God. You can control things. You can't control anything. So you need to bring it back to a minimum. You need to get back at God's feet. You need to be able to die to your flesh again. Okay, it's a constant thing. But when it gets too loud, guys, sometimes you gotta call a fast for yourself. Sometimes when you know that it's getting to be too much, and you can't hear from God, you need to get back. You need to get back in your sacred place. Get back in a secret, quiet place with God, and in that atmosphere, and get back on your hands and knees, and start repenting, and surrender to Him all over again. Because it's a daily thing that we have to do. Okay, because we live in this here world. We live in his world, and it's a lot of distractions. It's a lot of distractions in this world. Okay. So we want to be we want to be that narrow person. We want to be different. We want to be unique. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to be a part of this world. So in order for us to not be a part of this world, we got to continue to die to our flesh, continue to die